Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Books and Bullshit, where the topics are made up and your opinions do not matter. I'm Zachary Chopchinsky, the bowtie author, or am I? I might have another name. You don't know. Martina. Are you Martina, or are you another name? Do you know?
Yes.
All right. Well, there's that. Just keep scissoring your mic stand. Little scissor me timbers there. Little pirate fantasy.
Well, it's scissor the mic or sit on the docks. I don't have a lot of options here.
I'm either scissoring or I'm sitting on a face. What are we doing?
Neither of them are a good option.
Speaking of good options and scissoring, today we are going to talk about something that's been blowing up and popular and all that jazz, which I think is something that we've talked about a long time ago, a wee bit, but it's come up in other circles before.
Scissoring?
And sitting on faces. But with that, pen names.
Ooh. This thing is like all up in my shit right now.
I know, right? You got that big mic up in your face.
My spit guard is like a little too efficient.
You don't need a spit guard. Martina, you do not spit.
No, I always swallow. I'm no quitter.
Wait. Is this going in with Ezri's interview? Because
no,
you
probably
have to
not.
keep the whole thing PG-13.
No, this is
well, it isn't
not
now.
Not for the pen names. I think that'll be better with Kate.
Okay.
That'll be interesting if Kate doesn't have a pen name.
Well, and so for those of you that don't know,
For those of you playing the home game.
yeah, a pen name is basically you lying about who you are like a lying ass bitch.
Seriously, you think there's somebody at home listening to this podcast who doesn't know what a goddamn pen name is?
I don't fucking know. Why do they have things on like hair dryers? It's like, don't use this shit in the shower. Like,
because apparently we tried to kill Darwinism.
yeah, well, that's what pen names are.
So you're saying the only people who listen to us are too stupid to know what pen names are?
I don't know. Are you guys? Did you know what pen names are? Write us in at Martina McAtee at Books and Bullshit. We should really do like a really shitty episode that's going to piss people off and give them an address of somebody we don't
that
like.
35 times.
Right? 36 now. We should give them like a real address of somebody we don't like and hope they send like used dildos to them or something.
I don't think anybody who listens to us thinks we're worth used dildos.
You guys ain't even worth used dildos. You guys are a couple of used dildos.
Yeah, exactly. You'd have to stick a stamp on your own forehead.
Huh?
Mailing people used dildos if we're used dildos.
Oh.
Never mind.
I think they would put the used dildo in a box. I don't think it's not like a potato. A postal carrier's not just going to take a dildo. And
You are a dildo. I'm going to put a stamp right there.
Captain Dildo to you.
I will never call you Captain anything.
Captain Obvious, maybe.
Captain Underpants.
You don't know my underpants.
Yes, I do. You keep commenting on all those gay underwear sites.
All my underpants are assless, but not my choice.
What?
I'm eating the ass.
Isn't that a thing people
It's
say?
not the curtains.
You can eat the ass out of his ass. I don't know.
Ew.
Ah! Speaking of up an ass, Layla's foot's in mine. So, Martina,
It's practically in my vagina.
what are your thoughts on pen names?
I think they're a good idea.
Why?
Honestly, okay, so when I decided to write the male romance books, everybody was saying that, like, oh, you don't want to have a pen name because you want your normal audience to be able to like find you, no matter what you're writing. And I'm like, but I write young adult books, so I'm not sure that that's true, even though most of my people are adults that read my books. But one, I chose to have a pen name because I didn't want to get into a issue with my muggle job, because technically there's a morality clause in all of our contracts. Not that they would ever think of writing like LGBT romance books as, immoral or whatever, but
Wait,
to avoid
you don't think that this podcast would conflict with your morality clause?
Well, I'm hoping that nobody ever goes hunting for this.
I have 17-year-old students that found this.
Yes, because you won't stop talking about it.
No, they found it and asked, and I told them not to listen.
I highly doubt that.
I'm a responsible adult.
Okay, you're like, oh, you Halo teenagers, don't do this. Don't listen to this highly adult podcast. Yeah, because that's exactly what you do for teenagers.
Teenagers listen to me.
Yes, they do. They go right to the podcast and listen to you.
Touche, bitch. Touche.
You'll never win this, Zach.
So your name really isn't to necessarily hide what you're writing, like, because you're ashamed of it. It's to kind of protect you a little bit from your work.
Yeah, I just wanted to keep that separation. I mean, I told everybody in my reader group, that what my pen name was if they were in that, into that particular kink.
What might that kink be, Martina?
Well, in this particular case, daddy kink. But I just didn't want to promote it in my regular feed for my, for obvious reasons.
So now, when you're choosing your pen names, how do you choose your pen names? Is it like your first pet in the first street you grew up on? Like, that's how that works, right?
That's technically how you choose your porn name.
But I feel like
But I actually did use my first pet's name, which was Only. But I chose to just go with something really generic like James, because my street I grew up on was Fillmore, and Only Fillmore was just a little too porny.
Mine would be
even for male romance.
Mine would be Smokey G Street.
Mine would be Misty Jackson.
That is definitely
Damn.
a porn name.
Yes, it is. And she's got the voice for it, too. We should do a porn cast, and Layla is Misty Jackson.
Sorry, Misty Jackson. I am.
All right, hang on. We have to do this. Curtains. You have to introduce Books and Bullshit as your best Misty Jackson. No. Yes, you do. The microphone's getting turned over to the curtains right now.
Come on, Layla, you were a performer.
Come on.
Perform.
Give
Dance,
us your
monkey.
Give
dance.
us your best Misty Jackson introducing Books and Bullshit. Make it count.
Now she's gonna be all like insecure.
Well, let me give you a little background first.
Okay.
Layla, gather around, everybody. It's story time with
story
Misty
time.
Jackson.
When we lived in Maine, one of the jobs I had was I worked at Starbucks, and one of the positions that people pretty much always hate when they work at Starbucks is working in the drive-thru.
Bending over. No.
For real though, is doing any work at all? No. Pretty much everybody hated working in drive-thru because all you're doing is dealing with really bitchy customers.
Yeah, get that microphone up in your face, Layla. You know how it goes.
Jesus Christ.
You do it to us all the time. It's not much fun, is it?
But there's a reason that I deal with the behind-the-scenes shit.
Just get your mouth open.
So pretty much everybody hated working in drive-thru, and I was always pretty outspoken, so a lot of my supervisors didn't really like me, because I would pretty much tell people what I was thinking, including customers, and that would get me in trouble quite a bit.
Imagine that.
So I got put on drive-thru a lot because everybody's favorite position is working in bar. So I'd get put in drive-thru. Well,
Wait,
first,
I've never heard of that position. Is that in the Kama Sutra?
What?
Oh, the drive-thru?
The drive-thru.
It takes 3 people. There's one between them, and they just drive through.
I thought that was a wheelbarrow. No.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
So at first it started out me being punished by being put in drive-thru, and then
This is getting dirtier by the minute.
I'm
How did they punish you, Layla? I'm sorry, Misty. I'm sorry, Misty Jackson. How did they punish you? Talk slowly.
Well, one of my supervisors, who was this tiny petite little girl,
That Layla wanted to crush.
She every single shift she would put me in drive-thru. And she didn't really like me, so there was that, and I figured that was the reason. And one day I was being particularly bitchy, and I was complaining about it on the microphone while she was listening to me complain about her on the microphone, because I never muted anything.
Layla's all like, this bitch keeps putting me on the... I can hear you. I know you can hear me.
I want you to hear me. So I asked, I was like, why do you put me on drive-thru because you hate me? I mean, I get that I'm probably not your favorite person, but I'm the best on bar. So put me where I'm useful. And she was like, actually, I don't hate you. And now we're actually friends on Facebook.
Actually, I don't hate you.
She's like,
I've
actually,
been into
now,
you for a long time now.
Yeah, she's like, actually, I don't hate you. I really like your drive-through voice. It soothes me, and I like to listen to it on my shift. And I was like, what is that supposed to mean? She was like, you just sound really... And then one of my other coworkers, Ted, who is a complete creep,
his name was Ted, isn't that sort of like implied?
Yeah, he chimes in, he goes, yeah, you sound like a phone sex operator. He was like, I like listening to your drive-through voice too. And I was like, oh God.
Welcome to Starbucks. This is Misty Jackson. How may I service you?
Pretty much, yeah. People would...
I never get that at my Starbucks. They're like, hey, can I get any food items today?
People would come through the drive-through and they would, order. And then they would come up to the window and they would like... And this happened to me all the time. They would lean and they go... Was that you in the drive-thru? And I was like, yeah.
You see me wearing fucking headphones, lady?
And they're like, I would get a lot of, I'd get, oh, wow, you have such a beautiful voice. Or, wow, they're like shocked. Like they would see me and be like, that voice did not come out of you, bitch. Or like women would be like, wow, you sound like a robot, like a filtered voice.
Like a very soothing filtered voice.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, that's just me. But the thing is, because when you're in drive-thru, you're supposed to sound happy. And so I would do this stupid voice where...
Yes, your phone voice.
And
we all have a phone voice.
Yeah, exactly. So
every woman has their phone voice.
And for some reason, everybody liked mine. And I never thought it was that exciting. It was literally just me trying to fuck off.
I remember the first time I ever answered the phone for Groundworks, I was 12 years old, and my mom was making me answer phones to buy my school clothes. And so at Groundworks, you had to say, thank you for calling Groundworks. This is Martina. How can I help you? And George goes, who is this? That's my boss. He goes, who is this? I said, Martina. He goes, what are you doing? Answer the phones. I was like, my mom's making me. He's like, damn. He's like, it sounds like 1-900 tree sluts up in there. He's like, try not to sound so adult. It's like, Mom!
Yep.
So, come on, Misty Jackson, introduce Books and Bullshit.
Why do you have to make her perform? She just told a whole damn story.
Because that was the point of her performing was to perform, and she decided to tell a story. The fact that she gave more than what we were asking for is just her.
Don't be gross.
I mean, I'll do it if you want me to do it.
She could do it if she wants to do it, not because you told her to do it, you Neanderthal.
The thing is that it's not that...
This is about.
It's really not that porny. It's really not. I mean, I never thought
it's doing it for me, but I don't know. But you always do it for me.
Awkward.
Is that what these spots are?
Damn! Fuck you, Layla! Like,
Sad part is that was at herself.
Yeah. All right.
All right, go for it.
Jesus Christ.
You have to pretend to be Zach. Like, go ahead.
I can't pretend to be Zach.
Oh, really? Sometimes I hear his intro in my head in the middle of the night.
I wake up in cold sweats.
All right. Hi, welcome to Books and Bullshit, where your topics are made up and your opinions don't matter.
Is anybody else?
I'm Zachary Chopchinsky, the Bowtie author, USA Today bestseller, here with Martina McAtee, the Queen of Snark and Dark, also USA Today bestseller, but she won't tell you that.
I'm Misty Jackson, and I don't give a flying fuck.
Not one. Not one fuck was given.
Not a single fuck.
Misty Jackson only fucks when she wants to.
Yes, ma'am.
What is this? She's like, get on with it.
All right, so let's get back to this. So we only got a few minutes left before we're gonna have an awesome interview coming up for you guys. But so what brought this up is there's a really interesting article that we were reading recently. And literally, it just happened. Let me pull it up really quickly.
Go ahead, get it up, Zach.
I'm trying to. Can somebody talk like mean to me or something?
I mean, if Misty Jackson didn't do it for you, I don't think anybody in here is gonna do it for you.
Okay, so it's about author Julia Watts, who is disinvited from the Teen Lit Festival because she writes YA, but they found out that the organizers that she also writes erotica and heavier stuff, but she uses her same name. And so what they did was they disinvited her out of the concern that the young YA readers would look her up online and find her dirty books. Now, so this is kind of the long-running thing because you'll have some professionals that swear, like me, for example. I've argued it for a long time. Now, I know recently I've talked other things, but with if I'm writing something, I want my name on it. But I feel like this is something that, not saying it's right, wrong, or different, that can happen if you don't write a pen name. It's not a right thing because that's up to the consumer. It's up to the parents and things like that to make sure their kids are doing their thing.
I think it is bullshit.
No, that's what I'm saying. I 100% agree it's bullshit, but then unfortunately, bullshit aside, this can happen.
Well, there's also the aspect of the fact that she writes lesbian erotica.
Yeah.
So it's like, was it the erotica they had a problem with, or the lesbian they had a problem with?
And now it's kind of bullshit as well because there are also reports of libraries now taking her books out because of the concern of that. And that's all about, again, consumerism, and that's knowing what you're getting, being responsible parents, being involved, because the only time that's a problem, obviously, if it's a kid gets a hold of it, but if you're watching your kid and understanding what they're getting into, that you should catch that. It's like when Ryan Reynolds came out, because all the parents were shitting all over Deadpool.
He came out?
I wish. When he was making all those comments on Twitter because parents were shitting all over Deadpool and, oh, I took my kids to see this, couldn't believe it, we left 10 minutes in, this is absurd. And he's like, geez, if only there was, I don't know, like a letter rating that told you what kind of audiences the movie was appropriate for. Yeah. Like an R rating or something. It's not being an idiot, knowing what you're getting into.
And let's be real, there is nothing I write that your kids cannot find on Tumblr, Archive of Our Own, fanfic.net.
Fucking Instagram, you can find fucked up shit.
I didn't realize that you can literally upload porn clips directly to Twitter. Like, full on fucking.
Oh, Zach's gonna be, now I know what Zach's gonna be doing for the rest of the night.
Zach's gonna beat what?
I was like, oh, okay, this isn't even censored. It's just like all up in there. Twitter don't give a fuck.
But everything's like...
Or they give lots of fucks, depending on how you look at it.
But everything in Twitter is like the clips and everything and the text is all super short. I don't understand why you would upload porn to Twitter, though.
No. It's a full-on clip.
How? I thought there was like a size limit to the clip.
I don't know why you make me prove this shit to you.
I'm not making you prove
You're
it.
gonna be sorry.
I'm just curious how that's permissible.
I don't think there's a size limit for videos.
Yeah, because in Twitter I think about the character limit, right? So I thought same thing with like videos and such. There's a data limit or something like that.
Nah, fam.
She's still pulling up Twitter.
Oh, I'm gonna make you look at it now.
This is gonna be gay porn, isn't it?
Oh, so much.
Knowing who you follow, this is gonna be straight up like dong to hole.
I mean, maybe.
Oh look, it's Trump.
I do not follow him.
Is it dong to hole on Trump? Is Trump the bottom? And America's the top.
No,
Rally
it's exactly
together,
the other way around right now.
Rally together, everybody.
Are you okay? Rally together? What's happening?
Against Trump?
Well, then wouldn't that make... Oh, never mind. I'm not playing this game with you right now.
What? Rally together against Trump. That's a good thing.
Just saying. I'm not going to show up. Like, yeah, straight up. Just boom.
Nope. Yep. That was a dude with a wiener in his mouth in the middle of a wonderful woodlit scene. There was grass
and they're British,
birds.
so like I'm sure it was a beautiful setting. Like,
very romantic. Now choke on this, you little knob goblin.
Oh, such a cute nickname.
Daddy's little knob goblin.
That's the name of my next book.
I thought your next book was gonna be what's the guy? What was the guy's name? Nick.
Which
It's gonna be me and
Oh, you and Nicholas.
Yeah.
Spelled odd.
Or Jim Tom not Tom Tucker.
Tom Tucker. Who the fuck is that guy?
Tom Terry.
The news anchor from Family Guy. I know. Tom Terry and Jim Cantori lovingly embracing on the beach of Florida during a hurricane.
I don't want to get sued.
Swells crash over them as he sandpaper hammered. Because I feel like in that one, Jim Cantori is the top.
Well, he's pretty buff. I don't know what the other guy looks like,
No.
but Jim Cantori looks like he can handle himself.
Jim Cantori would be the top.
He would wear Tom Perry.
You keep changing his name. Did you just say Tom Perry?
Is that his name, Tom Perry?
Tom Terry.
Tom
I thought it was Tim Terry. Jim and Tim.
No one is getting this shit right now. All right, we gotta shut this down before we get too far into this and get ready for our interview, guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get the mic set up and get that thing going.
Just go, do it. Put your
Oh
finger.
my gosh. I have such a great visual now of like what this is going to be like. I'm just picturing you like hovering together. Do you like candles?
Malika puts her
like
finger
candles.
in you, Zach.
The best part is we're not hovering. We're actually laying on a couch, just lounging across each other.
So picture the casting couch.
Just not quite.
Can I
as
put
much
you guys
as-
in a book? I'm so into it.
See, this is what I love about interviewing the male romance authors. Man, they get me.
Can Layla take one picture of us like this?
Only
I
if she
hope
edits
so.
the shit out of it in Photoshop.
I don't know how.
Well, then no. Unless you send it to Molly.
I'll send it to Molly.
Okay, take a picture of us.
You take a picture, but then Molly has to edit out all my chins.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it.
Do you know
swear
the
to God,
chin
Kate, we're
trick
gonna pull
to like
together in a
reduce the
minute.
chin?
I have to take another one. Both of you are laughing. And you
I have to take another one.
you guys can talk.
Okay.
Can we? Okay, so we should probably let Kate actually get a word in edgewise here.
Yeah, we are interviewing her after all.
So
No,
Kate,
I did. The plot bunnies are running around in my head right now. I'm going to turn you into a dude and put you both into a book.
ooh,
No.
she's gonna
Wait,
turn
which
you
one of
into
us are
a
you turning us into a dude?
Both of you.
Zach needs all the help he can get with his whistle
No.
and his man purse.
Okay, I'm not wearing the man purse, and my whistle is a treasure.
That's what you tell all the ladies, I'm sure.
Is it like a mouth whistle or like a rape whistle?
It looks like a rape whistle, but he claims it's like some sort of like vintage thing.
It's a World War I trench whistle, which kind of was like a rape whistle because if you heard it, that meant the Germans were about to rape you.
And do you wear it like as a daily accessory?
Yes.
I think I love you.
It's my necklace. I got a thing for necklaces.
Don't encourage him. Zach wears his man purse and his rape whistle everywhere we go.
I
Oh
carry
my
a gun in my
God.
man purse. It's a manly thing.
Okay.
So you're like cosplaying like a World War I soldier, right?
Except he dresses like the gayest explorer ever. He's wearing like cargo shorts and like a button-down weird What color would you say that is? Is that white?
It's a white shirt.
The lighting in here is so yellow that it could be any color.
It's a white shirt.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's definitely a sight to behold.
I'm fabulous.
Especially when all I
It
can
sounds
see is
like
her
it.
eyeballs staring at me.
Can you take a picture of what you see right now?
Where's my phone? Sorry, we're gonna get to you in just a minute. I
Swear to
promise.
God, we're interviewing you on purpose.
We're professionals, I promise.
This is all Martina
We
sees.
do this all the time. Oh Jesus, it's even creepier on camera.
Send it to me and I'll put it on the Instagram.
I want to see it. I need to find you on Instagram because I have like a need to understand what's happening right now.
Oh, you will.
I could probably send it to you on Facebook.
But you were saying
Yeah.
about World War I soldier cosplay thing. That's kind of how I dress ish. Like I'm kind of really old school with my style.
See old.
Yeah. Like I dig wingtip shoes and shit like that.
Yeah.
No,
See?
Yeah.
I'm 100% into that. We live by this old Air Force base that does this reenactment of an air raid from 1942 every year, and so it's this really big event, and everybody dresses up in clothes from the 40s, and people bring their classic cars out, and they have a band and everything like that. And so my husband and I go to that every year, and so I get it. I'm into it.
See,
I really hope I just sent this picture to the right Kate Hawthorne on Messenger.
that's about to get really weird really fast.
Oh my, hold on, I have it. Hold on, I have the message. Hold
This is literally Martina took this from right where her face
I
is.
sent it to your group chat.
That's all she sees right now.
Not creepy at all.
terrifying. That's like, okay, one though, you have really nice eyebrows. Like that arch is like not fair.
And he doesn't
Oh,
do
thanks.
anything to them, I don't think.
I
Even though if
don't.
anybody
Never-
was gonna pluck their eyebrows, it'd be this bitch.
She doesn't. I've plucked them. All right, let's
Okay.
move on
Yes.
to-
So let's talk about Kate and her dirty books, because she writes dirty books like I write dirty books.
Yay, dirty books.
Yay, gay dirty books.
I turned into a gay dirty book the other day.
Oh yeah, dude, you want to talk about plot bunnies? So, what's the name of that underwear company? Skull and Bones?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay, so Zach is on Facebook, and Skull and Bones has an ad
Yeah.
that they're shooting directly to Zach, Mr. I'm Straight, and
It's because Facebook listens and you and I talk about hella gay shit, so Facebook thinks I'm hella gay now.
well, you're a little gay.
A lot more than
You're
Facebook.
you're a little gay adjacent at least. So so on Skull and Bones, they have assless underwear, to which Zach decides to tag me and ask why they're assless. And this smoking hot guy says to Zach, what do you say? I can show you, Daddy.
Yeah, he says, I can show you, Daddy.
So then he's like, I think I've made an error, right? So we go on his page and he is gorgeous. And I was like, Zach, you kind of have to do it now.
He reminds me
Yeah.
of like Fabio.
Like you're gonna have to
with,
take
like,
one for the team.
Yeah, no, he's super hot. I'll send you pictures. He's really hot. And I was like, Zach, you could do a lot worse. And his wife's like, yeah, I think you have to fuck him now, honey.
Oh my God. I love supportive spouses. Yeah.
Nobody's more supportive than the curtains, aka Layla.
Yep. She's spreading while he's ramming.
Oh God. What is wrong with you?
But like,
That's where my line is.
but like I said, he called
She
me.
said she'd watch. She didn't say she'd participate.
He called me daddy, so I'm guessing that means I get to be the top.
Yeah, but we all know you are a
Well,
fuck for sure.
I mean, being a daddy doesn't exclusively mean you're a giver, but
That's true. Like
he's
lots
to
of
show you how the assless underwear works. I think it's safe to assume that it's his ass that would be in the underwear. Oh my God.
right. He's hot, right?
That, oh, yeah.
I was like, come on,
Active.
Zach, please fuck this guy so we can put it on Patreon.
That's like a really
$100
good, that's like a new benefit tier.
Let us all participate and benefit from this situation.
Yeah, it could be worse.
Yes!
The story is the straight male author who starts trying to write in male erotica gets taken under tutelage by a smoking hot gay man.
He's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you're literally a trope. Like, you are like a trope book waiting to happen. You have like gay for you because you're of course going to fall in love. Like, I'm sure we could get you into one bed if we like tried really hard. Not that hard. It would
I don't
probably
think
be
that's
super
right, that
easy. It's easy. Yeah. I'm into it. So,
we
but I'm
got you.
The Otter and the Bear.
Yeah, what am I?
Sounds like a children's story.
It's not for children.
The Otter and the Bear, a tale from my daddy.
That's the name of this podcast.
This episode is now named that.
And this is how Layla gets the names for all of our episodes.
Yep.
I'm into it.
anyway.
And you can have, yes.
So tell us about your porn.
I mean, you're writing.
My
That's right.
my writing. So I when I started writing, it was not kinky. I think now everybody associates me with like kinky books, which was not how I started. But if you read through my backlist from oldest book to newest, they get like progressively kinkier. First, it was just a stalker, and then it was
I was like, girl, I read your first book. I thought it was pretty.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, like Gabriel's dedicated. And then
Sure, most stalkers are.
he knows what he likes, and it's Joel. I mean, I try to paint. I'm partial to Gabriel, so I try to paint him in a not creepy light. But
I'm down
yeah,
for the creepy. I'm always down for the creepy.
yes, like I'm into it. So he was first, and then as I started writing, my books were getting kinkier and kinkier, and then I was like, oh, I think that like I am just a kinky gay author. Like I think I'm just gonna write kinky books from now on, and so that's what I do. Kinky and gay, and but I am about to release a vampire book, which is a little like,
Is it kinky gay vampires?
well, okay, so
If
there's
I would like an art copy, please.
So it's Twilight.
they're like, it's not like as kinky as the Giving Consent series was, but they like it rough and bloody. So I mean that is a kink.
Yeah, we're
Get my attention.
yeah.
I was gonna- Layla's in.
Layla's head just popped up. She's like, what?
Yeah, there's like a lot of blood and like furniture breaking going on over there. So, but that's like what I do. I write a lot in as much spare time as I have. I have a 3-year-old and I can hear her footsteps going back and forth down the hallway outside of my bedroom right now. So I'm thinking,
Like a horror movie.
it is. It's literally like she's coming, and you like try to be quiet and hide so they don't hear you. But
And
yeah,
that was just
so
one scene in her book.
yeah. Oh God, the cough. Oh my God, I don't know if you guys can hear her right now, but she's announcing what she's here for. Um,
At least she's announcing in advance.
Yeah.
She's like,
yeah,
Mother, I have arrived. I am
yeah.
the
She's
of.
like, I'm here in case you didn't hear the pitter patter. Like now you know. But yeah, so that's like in a summary, just super kinky, super gay. And then I also co-write with E.M. Denning and the hold on, tiny stalls. Hush. Um, and
What
so
just
I write.
happened?
I
She
That's one of
pushed her
her
mother's
nicknames.
off button.
No, she's
Uh,
shh. She's out of the.
She
Do you know
doesn't
what I feel like right now? I feel like
like-
that video of that Australian or the European guy who was
Yes!
trying to do that video
Doing
call, and
it.
his kid runs into the room, and then the wife comes in trying to crawl in out of frame. Like that's definitely. Oh my God.
No.
Hold on.
Yeah, so he's like this really important guy, and he's doing an interview from his house in his home office. And normally the door is locked, but I guess he forgot to lock the door. So in comes the small child right up next to him while he's on a live interview. And he's like literally trying to push the kid out of the frame. And then here comes the baby in a walker flying through the door. And then here comes mom trying to literally sniper in, crawl on the floor. All of this is being caught live on camera. And she's like yanks both children out the door and closes behind her. I have to find it because it's literally one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And every parent can relate to this horror.
Oh my God.
It's like the kids are cute, but the mom's military crawl and like brutal removal really nails
And
it.
she's like this tiny Asian lady. And so she's like trying to like just ninja crawl in there and just like sniper out, but it's just a mess because the baby's like in a walker and the hands are flying, and the kid's like, Dad.
Yeah, it's amazing. But so my child is removed from the bedroom now. So I was saying, and then I co-write with E.M. Denning, and so she also writes kinky books, but hers are a lot fluffier than mine. And I just very recently got her to admit that she's totally into like Insta love. So the books I write with her are less kinky and way more sweet. So that's what I do.
Yeah, it's the kinky and she brings the sweet.
Is it like a Sour Patch Kids? First they're kinky, then they're sweet.
Well, that's how most books I write are.
Well,
First
it's
comes the
actually
kink, then comes the love.
yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that because one thing I try to do with my books, I feel like a lot of people have this perception of kink and how it exists, and they sort of see kink as being separate of a relationship. Like kink is something you do, not part of who you are. And so one thing I do try to do with the characters I write is really show their like the BDSM and the power exchange relationships as being like inherent to who these characters are as people and not just like a game that they play. So
Yeah.
it's like kinky and sweet, and then sweet and kinky. And then the epilogues are generally like hella kinky.
I like that she dropped like
So
hella
skip to the
kinky.
epilogue. Just
Yeah.
get right down to the
Yeah,
business.
Just
there's like, and I don't always like, I'm not like a huge fan of like proposals and stuff in epilogues, but I do have a couple in there because it just fit with the book. But most of them are like really dirty proposals, like during penetration or bondage or like cum covered engagement rings and stuff like that.
All right.
where can Zach find your books?
Now for playing at home, where do they keep these rings?
It's actually a cock ring.
Yeah, it's an engagement cock ring. Well,
Imagine the branding on that if you started a cock ring company and it was Johnny Cockring.
Stop it. You would be sued immediately.
By who? The Kardashians? They'd want to partner with me.
Yeah, they would name it something super offensive.
This one's the rape.
If Johnny Cochran is not offensive.
Well, it depends, I guess, on whether or not they're on board.
This one's extra thick and it's ribbed. It's called the OJ.
Oh no, stop!
Oh,
Not allowed to brand anything, literally anything.
I don't know. I'm about to give you a call afterwards, and you can redo my branding because I'm into it.
See,
You finally found your one true.
I can brand sex toys.
Yeah, that's the one place you can be as corny as you want when you name them.
And people love it.
Yeah.
True.
We should start pairing sex toys with books. The first one that I'm thinking of is like Of Mice and Men, and we can be like, tell me about the rabbit.
Have you heard about the like the vibrators that sync with romance novels?
What?
Oh my! I wish I don't even know if I can find it, but I had read an article a year or 2 years ago about like an insertable vibrator or something like that that syncs up to a whatever romance book you're reading.
Wait a
And
minute.
so as you flip
insert into where?
your
Knapsack?
as opposed to an external one. I'm pretty sure that the ladies know what I'm talking about. And but so it syncs to the book you're reading, and as you go through the pages, like when you get to like the foreplay scenes or the sex scenes, the vibrates like amp up.
Well, it used to be there was a online game called, I want to say like, Zach will know better than I will, but it was something like First World or Second World or something like that, where it was like a completely like
I think it was like Second Life.
Second Life, yeah.
Something like
And it was one of those things where you could build your own like houses. It's almost like Sims, but on like a global level. And you could interact with other people. And they had sex toys that synced with the game. So when you met people online, you could go into these like virtual sex clubs that they created, and like your vibrators and shit would actually coincide with the game itself.
So you could have
You could have sex with somebody across the world. I don't know why that game died.
That's really amazing.
Yeah, that was like 10 years ago. Maybe it just wasn't. It was a little ahead of its time.
I
Yeah,
think that's what
it was a little ahead of its time because now nobody would ever leave their fucking house.
Imagine that, but a virtual world.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now that we've got the VR,
Imagine
like,
that in VR.
They have
Holy
VR
crap.
porn now.
It's
Yeah,
like demolition.
Vibrators?
I don't know if it syncs to vibrators, but
It should.
it got Zach where he was going. Clearly.
pet my dog.
Yeah, while giving me creepy eye contact. Eyes down.
Eyes down when you pet your dog.
Don't look at me like that while your dog is between your legs, you weirdo.
Oh my God. We're not allowed to talk about that. That is against the law.
His big dumb deaf dog who's just so in love right now. He's just
Dad
like,
scratching his ears.
is just like, yes. So where can they find you? Tell us your social media so everybody knows where you are.
Okay, yes. My books are all on Amazon. You can look up Kate Hawthorne and I'm there, or you can find me on Facebook at God, I don't remember what it Author Kate Hawthorne is.
None of us ever use our author pages ever.
I know, right?
I have both. I have like my Kate page and then the page, and one of them is Author Kate Hawthorne and the other one is Kate Hawthorne Books. But I'm on both of them, so it doesn't matter. And then I am on Twitter as Kate Writes Words, but my Twitter is really just a ton of porn.
And that was what? Kate Writes Words?
Yeah, Kate Writes Words on Twitter. It's all the porn that inspires my books.
You know, some people do like a playlist that inspires like certain books. Like
Kate has her own
porn
playlist.
Yeah.
It's on Pornhub.
Do a porn. But I feel like if you go to my Twitter and look at the stuff that I have liked, you'll probably have a pretty good idea of what I'm writing next.
Well, I was just trying to show Zach that you can actually upload actual porn onto Twitter, and he did not believe me.
I believed you. I just didn't know if you could put full on like clips on there, just like 8-bit. Like,
So I pulled up a little Zilv Goodell for him.
Oh my gosh, him and Rourke. Oh,
I know,
they
they're so hot.
like both of them. Like Rourke is so cute, and then Zilv is just like
Daddy.
uncomfortably attractive.
So
Like
hot.
everything about him is hot. Like, but yeah, no, there's
I am now following
definitely
you on Twitter.
yay. Twitter porn is awesome, but you should always pay for your porn. Like support your favorite actors. OnlyFans or just for fans.
Yeah, I hear
Wait,
Jake Bass is getting another fan-only account. Is that true?
I heard that, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, he said it was gonna be like in 2 days, and then I never saw anything. So I don't know if he was just talking shit or what.
I know I'm so conflicted because he was like, I'm so done with porn, and then he was really negative about it. And then he just like dedicated himself to becoming a total beefcake, and then he's teasing us now, saying I'm gonna have an OnlyFans. Like, yes, please. Let's see some more of
Because he
that.
realized that he can't make any money as an actual like model. That the money is in porn, especially when you're Twinkie.
Well, that's like with writing too. Like, yeah, I read all these YA books, but I wanted money, so I started writing porn.
Why are you calling me out like that, Zach?
Do you feel attacked, Martina?
A little bit.
Girlfriend, I can't knock your game right now.
I do what I
So,
do.
so one thing that we like to do, depending upon, the subject that comes up or things like that, but one thing that we like to do with some of these is to do a quick little lightning round at the end of the interview, where we're just going to throw all sorts of questions at you, rapid fire, and you got to answer them honestly.
But they're for our patrons only.
But they're
Yeah.
this is for our Patreon only though, just as a heads up. But would you want to participate?
Yeah, of course.
Boom.
Okay, so when we say goodbye, don't hang up.
Yeah, so when we say goodbye and we do the sign off here, don't hang up.
I will not hang up.
Okay.
See, she understands.
I take instruction well.
Yeah, like she's just like it's like two separate people are like, so don't hang up, got it?
She was really proud of it.
She's
Like,
like,
I take instructions really well. All right. Write that into a book, I guess.
She already did.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
She has an entire series about it. Okay, so
dog.
where are we time wise? Just so you know, we're good.
We're
Okay.
25 minutes.
All right.
Okay.
We got 5 minutes. Anything you want to tell us? Anything people should know?
Yes.
No, like don't put me under on the spot like that. I don't know. Ask me, I can like answer, but like, I'm really bad for like as many books as I've written. I'm really bad at coming up with original content on the spot.
Yeah, that's all of us. If somebody wanted me to do like a flash like fiction thing, I could never do it. I could never just be like, they're like, okay, so then one day this happens, and then what? And I'm like, I don't know.
I just did. I have a Patreon too, and one of my tiers is like I'm doing like a choose your own adventure thing. So I'm letting all of my patrons comment with what they want me to write, and I'm going to write them all little flash stories about it. But they're really
Genius.
huge perverts. Yeah, like if
Well,
people
yeah.
think they are coming up like one of them wants me to write a story about two stepbrothers, and I'm like, oh, okay, so we're gonna toe the incest line. But wants me to do the story about two stepbrothers who find out at the end they're really brothers.
Hey, we'll have Zach
Plot
read it.
twist.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, so we make Zach read gay porn, really, really, really bad fan fiction, gay porn for our Patreon. But I'm trying to get him to branch into like some actual gay porn, like to read like some of our romance novels. Like, you know how Kylene makes her husband read?
My husband does it too. I do some too. And it's funny, I normally write in third person. But I did 3 shorts, about 30,000 words of 3 different kink stories, with a slew of really, like the kink list in these stories is insane. And I wrote them all in first person. And so I really want my husband to read those for his next live video, because I feel like it would be a special moment. It would go from these third person stories to him saying, I want this person to spit in my asshole or something like that.
So I gotta know, like when your husband is reading the stories, does he go like completely monotone, like trying to distance himself? Because when Zach reads, he either either has two modes. One, he gets progressively further from the story, like actually physically pushing it away from himself, or two, he goes straight up fucking Morgan Freeman, and just his voice starts to change and morph into like an old black man. We don't really know why.
I love it.
Hilarious.
No,
So
my
husband, yeah.
he does good. He has like more commentary. So he'll read it. And then just recently, I haven't done one in a month or so, but just recently he started sort of like trying to do voices. I would notice he'd read a character and he would change his voice a little bit. And I'm like, I think you should just narrate all of my books from here on out. But no, he really gets into it, but he'll stop and ask questions. And he'll be like, what is
That's
this
so
body
cute.
part? Like, how does this work? What does this mean? Where did you come up with this? Is his most pressing question. Like, what are you doing when I'm not home that you're
Although, let
like,
me direct you to my Twitter feed.
Don't
yeah,
worry.
I'm like, yeah. So no, he's really, yeah, and I love it. And I actually like, I had him design a little logo because he's very proud of like reading his stories. And it all started because I recorded a video of him in the car when we were on the way to Disneyland, and I was explaining like MPreg to him and the difference between MFM and MMF. And so I just had this video of his face contorting into massive confusion, especially when I was explaining MPreg, and he's like, where does the baby come out? And I'm like, the butt.
Magical ass babies.
Yeah. And so then I just like started, I realized that it was going to be gold. And then I just started explaining everything else to him. Like, here's all these other things and here's all these other terms. And I had my readers group post like,
Oh, well, nowadays, because the popularity of circumcision, docking happens in Europe. And
you've seen Courtney, we've all seen Courtney's docking comic, right?
No.
Okay, you need to find Courtney Bassett and ask her for the docking comic.
She was my editor, so I shouldn't have to work too hard.
I'm surprised. I thought everybody had seen the doc. It's really adorable. It's these two little cartoon dicks.
Do you know what?
And
Maybe
one of
I
them
have seen it.
what?
all right, hey, we're getting the producer kind of roll up, so we're gonna have to cut this short, but we're gonna do the lightning round after this, so we're not done having fun yet.
Woo!
So, so is there any last minute thing you want to tell the people listening out there? All like 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah. Hello, all 6 or 7 of you. No, just read my books because they're good, and come follow me on Facebook at author Kate Hawthorne, or join my readers group Hawthorne's Harem for lots of porn and dirty words and fun times.
Yeah, sounds like a plan to me. I'm already part of your group. Zach, stop
Yep.
putting things on your dick.
All right.
Wow.
And with that,
It looked like a cock ring.
It does, but your dick will
His name
never.
is Johnny.
No. All right.
All right.
So thank you so
thanks
much.
for coming by.
Don't go anywhere.
You're
Don't go.
welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my god. You point the finger at me, and now I have to yawn. It's like Pavlov's dogs, only my ass is leaking.
What does that have to do with anything?
Okay, I have to tell you guys.
Every time you yawn, your ass leaks.
Okay, yeah, I have to tell you guys something, right? So
Please don't.
I was driving home.
I
I
beg
was
of
driving to
you.
work
Don't
the other
start a
day.
story
No, just real quick. And I wrote the whole speech on if I ever met Ryan Reynolds, how I would convince him to let me be in his next movie. I wrote funny little jokes and little references, and it's a whole thing. It's a good 3-4
Because super
minutes.
straight Zach is so down to fuck Ryan Reynolds.
Who
Or
isn't?
get fucked by Ryan Reynolds, I should say.
Ryan
Because
Reynolds
we all know who the fucking top
Ryan
in that
Reynolds should run
situation
for
is.
president, because then none of us would have a problem getting fucked by the president.
Well, true. I'm not gonna fight that one.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm not kicking Ryan Reynolds out of bed.
Nobody is.
Nobody is.
Martina's just holding her big
No, this thing just keeps falling on my chest. My boobs are getting hammered by this thing.
All right, Martina, give us some social media.
Well, now that my spit guard's in place, I can. Sorry, what is this called for real? A windscreen?
It's
What?
a spit guard. It is a spit guard.
It's a spit
It's not a
guard.
windscreen.
What is it actually called,
A
Layla?
spit guard.
Shut up! You are not Layla!
Pop shield.
Pop shield, thank you! Pop Shield sounds like something like a pop fungo that's like a superhero.
I like Spit Guard. It sounds more
I
sexual.
know you do. Let her move on.
All right. You can find us on Facebook at Books and Bullshit. You can find us on Instagram at Books and BS Podcast. You can find us on the Twitter at Books Bullshit P1. And you can email all of your fucking stories and angry hate mail to us at booksandbspodcast@gmail.com. Also, don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, all of that nonsense. It helps. And now Zach's going to try to sell you Patreon shit.
So, in the arms of an angel. So Sarah McLachlan gets people to subscribe to shit. I feel like I'm gonna start singing that song.
She gets me to turn the damn channel.
You too could sponsor 2 starving authors today for $1 a month. But seriously, guys, we have a Patreon, and if you guys like what you hear, you guys want additional shit, go check out our Patreon. We have tiers as low as $1 a month. It goes to fund all this fun free shit that you moochers are loving. And the Patreon, there's all sorts of extra stuff depending upon the tiers. Go check it out. It's $1 a month. Y'all can swing that. I know you can. Other than that, thanks for coming by. Zachary Chopchinsky.
Out.
Deuces. Well, Martina's here too, and she's also leaving with me.
Goodbye. And we're leaving.
Bye.
Bye.